Welcome back to Sam Houston Sports Talk. It's Colin Neal here to get you set for Sam Houston women's basketball taking on undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide. Last time out for the Bearkats, they were in the game against the Rice Owls, a game that was discussed by Coach Justice in our preview podcast a month ago that she wanted to get after falling short last year at the Tudor Fieldhouse. Well, unfortunately, the Bearkats fell in Houston as Rice outscored the Cats 25-11 in the fourth quarter, and the Bearkats were not able to enforce their identity on the defensive end, being physical and forcing mistakes. They only forced the Rice Owls to commit 11 turnovers. Here is Coach Justice on the game.
No, definitely not the outcome we wanted. I thought that we were evenly matched with Rice. Like you said, that fourth quarter kind of presented some adversity, and we didn't fight back like I wish we would have. So we went like on a 4-0 scoring drought. But going into the game, we were very positive. But during the game, I thought our kids responded. I thought there were some situations in that game where, it wasn't going in our favor. Offensively, but defensively, we made some things happen. So I think that fourth quarter just taught us a lot about ourselves as far as what Conference USA looks like on the road, especially against a really good team. So, our kids, it wasn't a situation where we left that game with our heads down. It was definitely a learning lesson, but the positive is we know that we can compete at that level.
Whitney Dunn had 15 points. Deborah Ogayemi had a double-double with 12 points, 11 rebounds. Cats, however, shot just 35.6% from the field and 50% from the charity stripe. A noticeable stat when it comes to players in the box score was Annika Corcoran with just 3 points in 17 minutes off the bench. In my mind, if the Bearkats want to be successful this season, they need to give Corcoran opportunities to shoot, especially if she's going to come off the bench. She has proven at times this year that she can shoot the ball really well. And she also brings more than just shooting to the table, as Coach Justice talked about in her press conference last week.
Annika's a really, really good scorer, especially she's really good with shooting the basketball, has a great feel for the game. I think one thing that people don't understand about Annika is she's really good defensively as well. So she's someone who has brought not just extra scoring, but someone who can defend as well and play at a high tempo that we like to play at. But she's a good leader on the floor. She's someone who has a lot of experience. So having her bring that as well has been helpful. So I'm excited to have her. She's a kid that's had to sit out with injury. So I think she's just eager and excited to be back on the floor playing.
Cats now set their eyes on the Crimson Tide of the SEC as they are 11-0, just coming off of a 62-51 victory over Jackson State. Alabama was dealing with some injuries, so that may be a reason why it was a bit of a closer game than anticipated. You still got to give a lot of credit, though, to Jackson State for keeping it close, especially on the road. One interesting note is that Alabama is in the midst of a 4 games in 1 week stretch, especially once they're done facing Sam Houston, which is the second of 4 games on today. Tomorrow they're going to have to face Tulane. And so back-to-back home games for them over Tuesday and Wednesday. Here is head coach Raven Justice on Alabama.
Alabama's a really good team. They're not 10-0 for no reason. I think the one thing that people don't realize is they have a great inside and outside presence. A person that we're familiar with is Tamil Scott, who played in Middle Tennessee last year, and she's doing some great things for them right now. So I understand that they have good length. They didn't even start 3 of their starters last game, so they're deep. Their bench goes deep. Our biggest focus is to go out and, be solid. They're definitely going to be a team that's going to be a team of runs. We want to respond when they make those runs. We want to make runs ourselves. Chrissy Curry does a great job. She's a mentor of mine. I have a lot of respect for her. So, it's definitely going to be a battle on the road, but I'm excited about it. I thought we did a great job with our schedule for non-conference. We've put a lot of good teams on the schedule to prepare us for conference. If we really want to be good in conference, we need to be challenged and battle-tested early. So Alabama will present that challenge for us.
You look at Alabama, again, led by Curry in her 13th season at the helm. They are led by the duo of Jessica Timmons and Essence Cody. Timmons averages 15 points per game while shooting whoppingly at a 42.6% clip from 3. Cody averaging 15.3 points per game, shooting at a 61% clip. The Valdosta, Georgia native also grabs nearly 6 rebounds per game and swats away 2 basketballs per game. However, interestingly enough, Cody did not play against Jackson State due to a lower leg injury per Elijah Burks of Alabama. Look out in that case if she is still going to be out against Sam Houston. I think it depends on the severity of injury. I don't have any inside information on that whatsoever. But if that's the case, if Cody's not going to be able to play, look out for Diana Collins, who is coming off of a career high 20 points against Jackson State. And also, I'll throw out Naomi Jones as well. Bearcats will also face a familiar face in Tamia Scott, who was at Middle Tennessee, for those who remember her for the 2 seasons prior to joining the Crimson Tide this past offseason. Scott, in 4 games against Sam Houston, averaged 16.5 points per game, 2 assists per game, 4 rebounds per game, 1 steal per game, 1.5 blocks per game, while shooting 55.5% from the field and 54% from 3. For me, if the Bearcats want to give Alabama trouble, they just need to reinforce their ideology. For me, if the Bearcats want to give Alabama trouble, they just need to. For me, if the Bearcats want to give Alabama trouble, they just need to reinforce their ideology of making teams uncomfortable and make them turn the ball over. And it wouldn't be the end of the world if they fouled them, because at the free throw line this year so far for Alabama, they are shooting just 72.6% from the charity stripe. And when it comes offensively for the Bearcats, they really just have to get going. If they can force as many turnovers as they want. They can cause as much chaos as they want. But if they're not capitalizing on the opportunities, it will be a long night, to say the least, against the Crimson Tide. We'll see how it goes. It'll be served as a good test, a good little litmus test, kind of a little warm up, because conference play is just around the corner for the Bearcats, and I'm sure Coach Justice wants her team to be ready for when Conference USA play comes around. That was a preview for Sam Houston women's basketball versus Alabama. It is going to be at Tuscaloosa, of course, today, rather. By the time this is getting released, 6 p.m. Central Time, it's going to be on SEC Network Plus. You can also catch the audio broadcast on the Bearcat Sports Network. For Sam Houston Sports Talk, I'm Colin Neal saying so long for now. If you like this content and are looking for more stuff on Sam Houston athletics, so you drop the subscribe button for us if you haven't already liked this video. Follow us on all of our social media outlets, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram. We also have an audio-only form of our Sam Houston Sports Talk podcast that me and Luke Scott do every once in a while. It's going to kind of slow down now since there's a lot going on with basketball, and then baseball, softball is just around the corner. But we will, of course, do our best to keep you up to date on all things Bearcats, especially with football being in the offseason. Transfer portal is just a few weeks away. But as always, guys, eat 'em up, cats, and have a good rest of your week.